Hello, hello everyone. Hello and welcome to our podcast. I'm Jon Binnie and I'm here with the incredible Sarah. Sarah, UFO Girly. Welcome, Sarah.
Yes. Hello. Thank you so much for another amazing invite. I'm so grateful to be here, grateful to reach all these amazing people in the audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And also hello to everyone that's watching, all the humans and the extraterrestrials and everyone that
Yes,
has
those
our
two.
highest good love and compassion in their hearts. Welcome to our podcast. Um,
Yes.
every now and again, I get glimpses of looking back from the future and watching these. It's like
Oh,
a future echo of a memory. I'm like on a ship and I'm looking at a little pad and it's like, that was, remember that video we did?
oh, that's
Um,
beautiful. I'm assuming I'm up there as well.
that's right. That's what I'm showing it to.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. That's great.
And this is our third time getting together
It
and
is our third
sharing
time, and I
experiences.
love it. I love just thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak and the platform to share my story because that's what I'm really trying to do is just get this information out there. We both are trying to do this, and so many other people are. And just thank you so much for the platform.
Thank you. And yeah,
Yeah,
I feel leading by example is so important to help others, when they hear your story, our stories, that they're what resonates, what parts resonates, help people feel safe to share more and to be brave and
absolutely.
bold. And you're incredibly brave and bold to
Yes.
um, to like put our stories out there and follow our joy in them, follow what feels right for us. Um, so I'd love to catch up a little bit on some of your recent experiences that you've been having,
Mhm.
and this could be anything across your life. Like it doesn't just
Oh,
need to be uh,
okay. So
extraterrestrials.
one of my most recent ones, and I'll tell you about a dream that I have. And, doing this work, you don't just necessarily have to be being met by ET beings or anything like this. It could also be archangels or any kind of angel or being.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go back to the last dream that I had about Archangel Michael.
Mhm.
And so I was in this dream, and this is very weird, but maybe not so weird. I was at somebody's house and their baby was possessed.
Okay.
And I was in there and they called me to release the demon or possession, whatever you want to say. I don't necessarily believe in demons, but darkness.
Mhm.
We'll say release the darkness. And Archangel, I was praying over this baby, and Archangel came in and he put his hand to my forehead, and then it was released. And then he told me that he anointed me, and then surrounded me with this halo, and then like it was like an emblem, like the halo, the golden halo, like
Yeah.
it got downloaded into me and it was stuck in me.
Wow.
So and I was able to see things from a golden aspect like lens. I
Mhm.
know it sounds incredibly weird, but that is the last experience that I've had is Archangel Michael actually anointing me
Anointing. Right.
into the angelic realm, because I've
Yeah.
been working with the angelics for quite a while.
Mhm.
Even before I even knew, anything about my star family or anything like that. So I just wanted to share that.
Oh, that's
Um,
so powerful.
and yeah, some other experiences. Um, as everyone knows, whoever, or maybe people don't know if they're tuning in, that I do record extraterrestrial craft beings, or not actual beings, but they're in there.
Yeah.
The crafts are consciousness. So we can say that they're beings as well. You can say that.
Yeah.
But I do record them, and I record them very often. We have a time and place that we meet, and I get some amazing footage. But the point of that is every time I'm going out there, I can feel the
Yeah.
amazing energy. It's almost like a shockwave. And I don't know how to describe it really. Um, excuse me, my throat chakra.
It's okay.
I don't know why that happened.
It's hard to it is hard to explain, like the
Wow.
experiences I've had.
Yeah.
It is difficult to put into words for any throat chakra. So just take your time.
Yeah. Anyway, I was out there, and one particular night, this was a few weeks ago, and I'm used to flashes in the sky, letting them know that they actually, that's their hello. Like, hey, we're here.
Mhm.
You know, we're in the sky. We're here. Um, so I was out there, and all of a sudden I see a flash right by me on ground level. It was blue, and it was absolutely fascinating, amazing. And just recently I was out there, and I don't know how people are not seeing this, but um they make it so, others who are not supposed to see them at this time do not.
Mhm.
So anyway, I was outside, and I mean, all I can describe it as is like almost like a sonic boom, but with no sound.
Yeah.
I looked up, or actually I caught it, not on my camera, unfortunately. This has happened like 3 times, and I'm unable to catch it.
Yeah.
Um, it's this huge blue, like, boom, like, in the sky, and it is absolutely incredible, and it just puts chills in my whole entire body. And I told him, I said, "Please let me catch that on camera once," you know? But
Wow.
those are my most recent, I should say. Oh, and a lot of owls too, a
Mm.
lot. And you know
Yeah.
how we both feel about owls.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they're out there. I can hear them. I can't see them, but I can definitely hear them.
Mhm.
And last night, something flew through one of my videos. I haven't posted it yet, but I'm not sure what this was. But I'll post that sometime.
Wonderful.
But it was incredible.
Wow.
Anyway, I feel like I'm taking up all.
No, it's so
I'm
magical to
just
hear.
talking.
Yay. And just the energy behind all those shares. Just I love how you boldly share things that are new to you,
Mm,
and you're integrating them fast. Um, with your experience with Archangel Michael and the
mm.
the baby, it definitely resonates with my journey. I
It
My
does.
first work was with Archangel Michael back in about 2020. Although 3 years prior to that, I'd already begun talking to my guides daily and turning
Mhm.
those messages that I channeled into songs. Um,
Which are absolutely awesome. I love them. I love this so much. Thank
so much
you.
fun. Um, yeah, especially today's was a lot of fun. The the fascinating thing about archangels is, and you said this, my guide said this to me on my 10 a.m. dog walk with Patch this morning, my dog Patch, which was said, remember, John, all beings are equal.
Mm,
Okay, all
yes.
beings are equal. And it's quite a difficult concept for us humans to get our heads around because we're used to treating each other in hierarchies. And then
Yes.
and then we're like,
Yes.
oh, you're like from a different realm. You must be so important. And
Mhm.
part of that equality, and this was my guide, Eminchel, who's a Lyran being, so very powerful. Like he always like there's always like this lovely like rah, like this growl to his
Yes.
voice, and it's
Hmm.
very, just powerful and graceful and loving. Not as raw as the dragon energy, but like um, he's always very caring. And he said, so when we talk, when we communicate with other beings, including archangels, remember that they have personalities needs, desires,
Oh,
goals, just
yes.
like us. They are unique, and
They are.
sometimes, we would put, and I'm sure I used to do it with archangels in particular, but like, you're like an angel, so I'm like, you're up here and I'm down here, and they're
Yes,
like, no,
we
no,
do
no,
have a
no,
bad
no.
habit of doing that as humans. We have that perspective, or yeah, that these beings are at a whole other different level than us, which is I used to think the same. Now I walk with them.
Yay.
It's just like what Jesus said, walk with me,
Yeah.
and they don't want you to put them on a pedestal or anything like that. They don't want you to refer them to as gods or anything like that. They really just want to be a support system for us, our
Yeah.
little children. They're little children,
That's right.
they want to be a support system for us. They're trying to teach us and guide us,
Mm.
through this awakening process, through the whole earth's awakening process that we're going through right now. um Guidance is here. Even if you cannot see it, guidance is always here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
um yeah, so I mean, they taught me that a lot,
Yeah.
when I didn't. It was hard in the beginning of my journey, because I mean, I saw a lot in the beginning of my journey because my third eye was bursted open, so actually my experiences were very intense. I had a few angelic experiences, but anyway, I lost my train of thought in what
Yeah, we were.
per
It,
usual.
it's all helpful. The
Yes.
and and yeah, I do a lot of work with uh exorcisms.
Hmm.
I tend to describe as a situation where someone is being attacked or influenced, heavily influenced by a being of a lower vibration. I also like resonate with the concept, like this knowing that we create our own demons, like we, because they're a match for us, right?
Oh,
They're a
yes.
match for our
Vibrational
weakness.
match.
There's
Yes.
like, and our demons are often our greatest teachers as well as the angels, and it
Hmm.
feels important to mention, all
Yeah,
sides of the spectrum.
yes, you definitely have to embrace the darkness and the light,
Yeah,
because without the dark, we wouldn't even be
that's right.
grateful or anything for the light. We have to embrace both sides,
Yeah. And the speaking of like the flashes of light, so I must admit I have not integrated that fully, but I see them all the time now for at least for the last 6 months. And what I describe is my morning runs where, and in part thanks to you and the encouragement to film more, is I bought a little strap for my phone to like stick it
I
on
love it.
my arm as I'm running, and caught a toad this morning, and the day before a hare running by, and it's like, and it what I see in those morning runs are, because I run out in the Scottish countryside, so there's, when the fog clears, you'll see some of it in my videos. There's this big open expanse, and really fascinatingly, the flashes often come from the same area, and and that's kind of over the sea. They're not really near
Yes.
any land, and it's like a pulse. It's like this. It's almost like a,
Yep.
if you were to make a sound, it would be
Hmm.
like that, like, and
Yes.
it stops me. And I have learned, in part thanks to your inspiration, is to always bring in gratitude, like to acknowledge it and say,
Absolutely.
I just stop running for a moment, put my hand on my heart and say, thank you. I see you. That is beautiful, beautiful. Like, and then I'll ask, maybe show me where you are, or,
Yes.
tell me who you are, or I'll just ask my guides and say, who is this? Is that you? Who's trying to communicate with me? Um, and that's definitely helped a lot. But I must admit, the flashes, I was not fully understanding that it actually is often a precursor to subsequent activity. It's
Oh, it absolutely
like they're
is.
bursting into our space, like squeezing into our space.
That's what I first started to notice was these amazing flashes. And I the first time I saw it, I think I've already told you on one of the very first podcasts, but if someone didn't watch that, I'll tell it again. I was actually walking, I had experienced some ships prior to this,
Mhm.
and the flash, this was so enormous. I was actually walking about 4 a.m. with my dog, and we were going to walk toward the cemetery.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was this huge flash, and I've never seen anything like that before. And all of a sudden, I got the download to not go past that area.
Mhm.
So I immediately turned around. I said, well, I looked up. I'm like, am I going to see that again? What was that? You know? And I did get the download that, hey, that it's dangerous, turn back,
Mhm.
So I went ahead and I listened. I don't know what was there or what they were stopping me from, but it was very dark in that area. And of course, there was a cemetery, but not all cemeteries are dark or whatever. But
Mm.
this particular one, I think had a lot of attachments, negative attachments. People would go in there, and usually I'm not scared of anything. I don't care if it's pitch black out, I will be out there.
Yeah.
um, because I always feel like I have a million angels, and my star friends and family that are right next to me. So I'm not typically afraid to be outside or darkness or underneath the stars and pitch black or whatever. But yeah, that it was truly magical. And then when they came back, they took a year and a half off so I can heal and grow. When they came back indefinitely, that's how they appeared to me, was these giant flashes.
Yeah.
And I actually saw the physical craft on one of those flashes when they came back into my life to have. They wanted to show me this, hey, is us,
Mhm.
this is us. So those flashes are very significant for anybody who sees them. They
Mhm.
do hold a frequency. So anytime that you are seeing a flash or anything, you are getting a frequency upgrade. So they told me that. And yeah, so if you're seeing the flashes, be absolutely grateful and just stop and thank them just like you do, just
Mhm.
like I do. I thank them for everything because they're so magical. And yeah,
Wonderful. Well, I definitely will. um,
yes.
and I asked my guide, my Lyran guide, a bit about the ships that you record, the beings that you record, and it was quite funny because the first answer I got was, John, think of orbs, and he wasn't talking about orbs in the sky. He was talking about orbs that we often see around each other. We'd see like sparkles and you know
Hmm.
things floating by us, or we'll see them on cameras. Or if you used to, paranormal shows, things like that, we would see these orbs in photos and videos and various paranormal equipment. And I said, "What? Why are they similar?" And he said, "Because they're sentient. They
Hmm. Yes,
they have this
yes.
energy." And he said, if you notice, often their behaviors are similar. And it's like, oh, I hadn't really thought of that because they're much higher up in the sky. And he also said that the interaction is like some of what you're seeing, what you film, they're coming into our atmosphere, so they're coming down, and others are coming up. And the
Yeah. A
ones that are,
lot of, yeah, go ahead.
and the
I'm
ones that are
sorry.
it's okay. The ones that are coming in, um, and this is like a message for you, for the ones that come in, you do have the opportunity, Sarah, to direct them to other people. Which I was like, oh, what does that mean? And he said, well, it's simple. He said Sarah will know the frequency match of some of these very playful high vibrational beings
Mhm.
are looking for a vibrational match. They're trying to find other hearts. So some of them are looking for someone to connect to, and
Oh, I love this.
I could just see you like you're filming and you're like pointing and you're saying, "You should go and see my friend. Like go and see these people, or go to this area, go to this country," and that felt so exciting. Like some of them are, it's like a he was describing it a bit like insects, gather around light. It's like you're attracting more than just the light of the beings that are interested in you. It's like an audience. They're like, there's more. Where do we find the others? So that was a very beautiful experience. He also said,
Well, thank you.
um, yeah, I thought that was
That
something.
is very beautiful. Thank you for telling me that. I do that sometimes. So it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. Yeah, ex- I mean, they're coming in every direction
Yeah.
lately. I mean, it's been so busy out, and I'm very thankful. And I'm very shocked how busy it is in the summertime, especially like I just filmed on Saturday and I got so many orbs
Mhm.
that were just going slow in the sky. I mean, lit up too
Yeah.
on a Saturday night and it's warm out.
Mhm.
They're just not playing any games,
That's right. Yeah.
anymore. There was a party, in the woods that I film at.
Mhm.
Um, so there was like a little party. I can hear the party happening, and they didn't see it,
Yeah.
and they were just out. And then last night was amazing too.
Oh, wonderful.
So those ones were coming up
Mhm.
from, it looked like the ground,
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily the ground as we know. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was amazing. And speaking of Lyran beings, so I do have, that is where I'm from. Well, not I mean, the constellation Lyra, but the
Yeah.
star Vega.
Okay.
This is what, if anyone's tuning in, who's new, um, my star family revealed to me that I am Lyran and Pleiadian. I like to say more Lyran for some reason because I resonate with the Lyran beings, and also Pleiadians, my heart and everything. But Lyran beings, I have a Lyran grandfather. I call him my. This may sound so weird, but John, you do weird also.
Yeah. It's my full-time job.
So yeah, it's yes. I would love for it to be my full time job as well, but I do have a Lyran grandfather, and as most of you know, and if you're a star seed, you really get homesick a lot and lonely. You can get lonely, homesick, and all that. And he appears to me in meditations, or even if I'm not meditating, I'll close my eyes and he is there and he's all lion, like there's no human about him.
Mhm.
He's all lion being, all fur, looks like a lion. He's white and he's sitting on this big, I want to say throne. That's the human term for it.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if they say that, but he always embraces me and tells me, everything, we're with you at all times. Everything is going to be okay. You're okay. You are loved, you're supported, you're guided, all these things. And he really doesn't even have to say much. And this is all telepathic.
Mhm.
So he just embraces me. And anytime that a starseed feels lonely or misses home, just close your eyes, sit in stillness, and really feel that loving energy that they provide.
Mhm.
It's truly, oh, it just makes me emotional right now. But it's just a, I don't know, I keep saying the same words. It's amazing, magical, so loving experiences. And I hope everybody gets a chance to do that, you know.
Yeah. I definitely resonate with that. I feel
Mhm.
it's like a love that feels like home, and it
Oh, it does.
feels safe. Um,
Safe and protected, yes.
and I one you know one of the themes I wanted to touch on, other than a whole myriad of questions I have, one of the themes is to share a little bit about our experience of these some of these individuals, these
Mhm.
individual extraterrestrials, um, and because my journey started with my still my most dominant guide, Maya, and she described herself as a sister of Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, and she's an elemental being.
Mhm.
And for I think for months and maybe the first few years of talking to her each day, asking for messages for my highest good, and then turning those into songs and later my hi, it's Jon videos each morning, that I also, as I got to know her, also understood a bit more about her lineage. And there's an elemental being primarily with the earth, with like the mud of the earth. Um, Her prior existence to that was on Andromeda, and I was like, oh, that's fascinating. And she said, there's more, but let's not confuse things, Jon. And in part because
Yes.
I also have previous lifetimes on Andromeda, and often our guides are a reflection of us, right? They're often not all. It's not tightly coupled, but there's like this
Mhm.
opportunity for us to be a frequency match, depending on the planets you've lived on. You may have shared a lifetime with them, and there's some like variations to that, right? Which, for example, my third other most dominant guide, Marita, she's a mantid being, a mantis, and she wasn't born on a planet. She was born on a Federation ship, and so
Love it.
she doesn't really feel strongly other than the ship Athena that she lives on. She says like, this is my home, and the ship itself is also sentient, and it has this
Oh, yes.
ability to hold. When I visited, I describe it as it feels like Earth, and that's one of the gifts, like the superpowers of the ship. It can help you feel like you're on your home planet, and what a
Yeah,
wonderful
Earth
gift!
is sentient. Yeah,
That's
Earth
right.
is also sentient.
Yeah.
You know, so let's be kinder to her.
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
morning, I'm surrounding it with so much positive love. It's part of my prayers,
Mhm.
is me surrounding this earth. And if we all did it every morning or every day, surrounded this earth with so much love and healing and amazing light, it would be the frequency would raise even more, and the
Yeah.
consciousness would raise even more. And we'll be flying so high. Oh my gosh. Um,
That is
yeah,
wonderful.
that's an amazing story. I love that you know your guides like this, and know what they are. And I have seen my guides only once in person.
Mhm.
Um, and believe it or not, they're human. I one's name, well, they're not necessarily fully human, I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. They're always with me, but and I also have the beings, my ET beings and my angelics around me as well.
Mhm.
But my three guides, one, his name is Octavius,
Oh.
and he's a black guy, and he is very tall and muscular, and
Mhm.
he is always my protection. I always feel very, very protected with him. And then I have an overweight. This is so funny. I have an overweight Caucasian male as well. So I have all different aspects, and then a Egyptian child
Oh,
who's
wow.
around, I would say 13 or so.
Mhm.
So I resonate with all of them some way, somehow. So I don't know if it's me in different lives or just because I resonate with Egypt and anything ancient. Um, I have my jewelry on today, the Unk's Eternal Life.
Wonderful.
But anyway, other beings that have come in to me, since it is about that, I guess. Octurians,
Mhm.
you know, um, which I find very fascinating. They have been trying to come through the in an Octurian council,
Yeah.
and I actually saw a being. Um, this was probably about, I would say, almost coming up on 2 years. It feels like just yesterday, but it's actually about, I would say, a year and a half, 2 years ago,
Mhm.
where it actually, I was in between the sleep stage and sleeping, or wake and sleep.
Yeah.
So I closed my eyes, and all of a sudden, this Octurian, I didn't know he was Octurian at the time. This being, he was very tall and rounded head, and he was blue, and he was wearing a blue spacesuit. Eyes were big, but I knew immediately that he looked different from the gray that was in my room.
Mhm.
So he dropped down from the window, and it scared me, like jolted me. So I jolted up because anything popping into your window or anything like that is gonna frighten you. And I said, "Oh my God, come back. I didn't realize, that that was you.
Yeah.
Come back, and he didn't come back, but what came back was this huge orb of light, and it came through my window and hit me right in the third eye.
Wow.
Um, so that was absolutely fascinating. And so the being, I didn't, when I was kind of searching and asking, like, who was that?
Yeah.
What was that? I know it's not a gray,
Mhm.
and I know it's not Pleiadian. Like, who is that? And all of a sudden, I mean, of course, I'm looking, on like YouTube or whatever, and I see this stock photo of an Octurian, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's them. That's who it is, and it was just so much loving energy. So it was awesome.
Wow.
So awesome.
What a
So
beautiful experience.
yeah.
There's I feel like every time either of us say something, we have
Oh my gosh.
there's always a connection with
I
like
know.
similar experiences. And um firstly, like, yeah, ancient Egypt, like it they're some of my first incarnations on Earth.
Yes,
Um
and I believe
and
it's mine too. I believe I was there.
and I
Yes.
was my first memories are being Lyran, and then later a Lyran human hybrid, and then later human. And the first incarnation I had, like my I shared with my spirit guide Emenchel, um, and they were 30,000, 30, 32,000 years ago, so not quite in
Hmm.
line with our current understanding of history, although that looks like it's constantly changing.
Absolutely. But you're right.
Um,
You're right.
and I did do a little video today talking about some past life experiences, but one thing that really stood out for me is when I started this work full time, and I do a lot of it in this room in my studio, doing psychic readings and past life regressions for people and healings. The memories of doing the same work in the pyramids came back. Not just like, oh,
Beautiful.
the memory, but I remember the room. I remember like the ceremony of, you know, arranging the room for my next clients to come in, preparing the energy, working in teams with other people, and what the pyramids are used for. And that could be a
Hmm.
whole other
Oh, it can
video.
be. Oh, it can be
um,
because what we perceive what humans still
yeah,
think that they are is a tomb. It is,
yeah,
they're not tomb. It is not a tomb. It is a energetic power plant.
that's right.
Yeah.
And
Which
the
is also a spaceship.
yes,
Sorry. Yeah, we could do a whole nother
it's so
video
exciting.
on that
We've,
because
we've
this
just come
is
up with our
knowledge.
next
They, yeah,
our
we
next
just
video.
come up with our next one.
I love that. And I keep getting recommended Thundercats videos from, was it from the 80s, the cartoon? I was like,
Yes.
Thundercats are on the loose. And I was like, God, this is
Yes.
like, that's why I loved it so much. I was so glued to that. Still
Yes.
am.
I remember. I
Um,
remember.
the Arcturians, so when we last met, you had a message for me, right? It's like, John, you're like,
Yes.
you're really busy, like you're look after your health. Don't stretch yourself too thin.
Mm-hmm.
And the one of the reasons I've been so busy, in part, was like helping fellow humans, so doing
Oh, yes.
healings and clearings and readings for people. But so prior to our last meeting, there must have been 3 months of about 4 sessions per day,
Oh,
dominated
my.
dominated
Yes.
by the Arcturians. Almost every guide that would come through was an Arcturian. And
Oh, wow.
after the first, maybe, so this was November, December, January, February, and then to March. Um, and then it started to just spread out more across. I mean, today I had a star being like the soul of a star as a guide, and it's like, okay, we're getting like a broader diversity now. And I was saying to within a couple of weeks, it's like, what's with the Arcturians? Like, why are you guys so interested? And they said, well, along with the Lyrans, we were the first to come to Earth, and we are working in this healing modality because you guys need a lot of it. You need this ancient wisdom, and the people that we're bringing to you, John, are like that match for the Arcturians to work with. Is like, oh, okay, and
The Syrians, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
exactly what you're how you're describing the Arcturian. It's like, um, I don't know. In part you get used to just knowing the feeling of their energy,
Mhm.
and then it's always the skin they show me the first thing. It's like they're like, look at the skin, and you're like, okay, and where are you from? And the guide will say, like, have you figured it out yet? And also, like, the shape of their heads is often quite different. I see it as more
Yes.
elongated
Yes.
towards the back for their big beautiful brains and crown chakras.
Oh, absolutely. The Syrians just chimed in. Sorry. That's why I almost had to interrupt you. They're like, we were there. We were
We
there.
were there too.
Like, yeah, we were the first. They're Syrians. Even though I don't normally hear anything from them. But they're like, no, hey, we were there.
Yeah, that is wonderful.
We
I
were
do.
there.
I have two Syrian guides, and I thought they were human, in part because of their names. Their names, you're gonna love it, Ron and Tom. And
Oh my
I was like, are
gosh.
you guys human? Because like I know a Ron
I
and a
do love
Tom,
it.
and they're like, no, but we look human. Like we look quite human to you, John. And the very first experience I had with them was they took me. Um, this was only in the first few days of me really learning to meditate. They took me out of the galaxy. It felt like two beings coming into the room, lifting me up
Hmm. Hmm.
from under my picking up under my arms, and then they floated me off. And I was like, "Where are we going?" And they said, "We're going to show you these two stars and two planets around each star, and then we're going to bring you back and show you the same here. It's a mirror here." And I was like, "Ah, a mirror." Um, I do know there's like connections between um, the pyramids, right, and
Yes.
Sirius as well. And there's not
Hmm.
none of that's a coincidence.
No. No, absolutely not. And I wanted to say the name thing, Ron and Tom is okay. So my guardian angels names, I have two. One's a male. Well, they don't do really genders, but for the human, their names are Josh and Taylor.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I whatever.
that's so cool.
So yeah,
I wonder if they talk about us and go, "I've got like, wait for it, John."
yes, yes.
It's like,
Uh,
And
Yeah,
Binnie,
they don't,
you
it
started.
doesn't have to. If you ever hear, yeah, if anyone watching ever hears a very mundane name, that's okay.
Yeah,
They do have these normal, mundane human names.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So,
Um, and one big question I wanted to ask you was, what's your feeling, your experience about why? Like, why is all this happening? Like, why are we being contacted? Why are we contacting? We're the ones searching our
know
skies.
the truth. Yeah, the truth is coming out. This is the age of Aquarius. The truth is coming out. Truths are being revealed. We have to know how we've been dumbed down so long. It is time for us to just really, really incorporate all this magical power that we have as humans. So they're trying to show us that we are so powerful, we are so strong. We have the capability to manifest anything we could want or need in our life to a certain degree. I will say that if it's not in your life path or you want $20 million, and it's not in your life path, you're not going to get it. But it's to show us that they're here. They've always been here. We're just not this human body, on this earth, just floating around in the sky. We have a purpose. Every single one of us on this planet has a purpose, at this time. And it's for this great awakening that we're having right now.
Yeah,
Soon we're going to know a lot more truth. And it's such an exciting time. So, anyone out there going through just an emotional time or anything right now, know that's all needed. It is all needed for your growth. Yes. So, um, it's such a powerful time.
yay!
Such a power. Yes.
It's so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I keep seeing and feeling this universe is teeming with life, and I think in part
Absolutely.
that helps explain why often we often talk about our modern science will talk about, oh, that's light years away. Like I that's just not my experience with extraterrestrials, whether they visited me in a large federation ship within a mile or so of me, and I'm like, this you're here, like you're so real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or whether it's talking in a meditation or client session with beings from across the universe, across space and time. Like there's just no boundaries, and so their attitude seems so different to. It's not light years and having to spend months or years in stasis or cooped up on some ship. It's not this
Mm-hmm.
heavy, dense physical reality only, right? It's everything
Right.
far more expansive.
Oh,
Um,
yes. Yes.
and you've touched on a couple of times this importance of, for example, we talked about like being able to create, like just one of us, one human, being able to create like a big, loving, protective bubble around our planet. And
Yes.
and the reality is if you feel in your heart that you're really equal to every being across this universe, then you have exactly the same amount of power, and each of us with our own unique superpowers to be able to do something like this. And because I asked that this morning in meditation, I said, I've been doing it
Mhm.
for like since 2017. Why do I seem drawn to creating this bubble around the earth? And my guide said, because John, why not? Why you've seen the power of one person. One person can change your
Yes.
world. And
Absolutely.
you're doing this. You don't need to there's no limitation to it, right?
There isn't.
And another big thing that happened to us as a species since we last met was some of the discoveries on, and I did a quick Google to get the name right, K218b, which is
Oh,
which is I think in simple terms the biosignatures or farts of other animals and creatures and living things on another planet. This sulfur-like biosignatures resonating out, and they've detected this on a spectrograph. Um, and and it may be, in modern science finding its way to like there might
Hmm.
like it may be just it might be a sign on another planet. Um, and it's fascinating, right? Because the process, I can't remember what their current numbers are. Like they think it's in the 90s, right, of probability, but they want to get up to 99.9999999
Yes.
probability. And but the reality is that there is a shift happening, and it to me when I've watched some of those videos and some of the energy behind the discovery, it's it's like the slow attempt at somewhat trying to manage the message to humanity.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
there is some life, but maybe some algae somewhere. you know and,
Right.
uh,
You have to be
and
super careful of that because even if it is in the news or anything like that, there's still a bit of control. There's
yeah,
still a control narrative that they're trying to do. So we really have to use our discernment and be careful of that as well.
absolutely. And what I
Hmm.
find fascinating is that the those that attempt to still try and control this planet and the agenda, they seem to um, struggle with any human that gets excited about this, right? Because I've seen some of the scientists that were on that project, and they're like, "This is now my new life purpose." It's like this
Oh,
is I'm just going
yes.
to keep doing
Yeah.
this. It's amazing, and like imagine we could systematically like program our computers to try and analyze all of space and try and find more and more life. And it's like, yes, yes, keep going, and it's just the start. Um,
Well, if you think it, you can do it. If we have a
exactly.
thought, yeah, if we have that thought, it could be done.
Yeah.
It could be done. So always know that too.
Beautifully said. Um,
Hmm.
and I think if I was to answer the question about why this is happening, I feel absolutely aligned with the truth. Like we're being invited to rejoin, consciously rejoin our soul tribes, our extraterrestrial, our galactic brothers
Yes.
and sisters, this universe teeming with life, to no longer be separate, no longer be in division, but to rejoin our families. Um, and I mentioned it with one of my guides, for example, also that our own families, just like we have past lives, so do our guides, so do
Absolutely.
all beings that choose to reincarnate. And
Hmm.
they're like like Shrek would say, it's like an ogre, like an onion, all these layers. There's just like all these layers and layers, and
Beautiful. That
it's,
was
it's so
amazing.
beautiful. Um, I'm an ogre, and it
Beautifully done.
it's lovely that um, there's so many things like you said that it can seem so complex, like oh, I had to like meditate since 2017. This is what I say, right? I had to meditate.
Hmm.
Like the reason I had to do that was because my mind was like this. It took me 900 days, and I
Yes.
remember it so vividly. After channeling my guides for 900 days, I then realized that it was real. I then said,
Yes.
okay, that's beyond just my individual capability. I think I've tapped into something that's bigger. I think what I'm doing is lightly and become a knowing for me. And
Yeah.
so it was just a way of
Mhm.
helping open up my heart and feel into it.
Yeah, it's for your growth too. Spirit never, or spirit guides, whatever, it never gives you anything all at once.
Yeah.
It is always a journey for our growth. And I think we can get caught up in that, like, hey, I want this now, I want it all now. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's amazing. It took you that long because you had to find out.
Speaking of being ready, so I don't think I've ever shared this before, but I had experiences when I was about 14. And I don't know if you would have seen this in other countries, but in the UK we had like a sci-fi TV series called Doctor Who. and there were these, what I can't remember their names, right? But they were Lyran
Hmm.
beings, right? But they were often they had personalities. They were characters in the show. They're humanoid, but with very cat features. And
Hmm.
I found them like there was something just very, how to describe it, like magnetic and yet scary for me. Like
Sure.
like I loved it and hated it at the same time. And because as you were saying, we're not always ready.
Hmm.
We'll be shown what we're ready to receive. And I remember vividly knowing that I was out in my garden repairing my bicycle, and there was a being on the other side of the wall. I knew it was there. It's a big stone wall, and I knew it was on the other side.
Hmm.
It's one of those cat beings from that show. How is that possible? How is that?
That's
And
amazing.
and it wouldn't come over the wall. And because I was like, oh no,
Not just maybe scare you.
that's right. And I was like pushing it out of my mind. I was saying, no,
Hmm.
this is not real. They're not real at all. What's incredible is later, it must have been about 5 years later, and I've never pieced this together. I met Doctor Who. I met him. I met the actor at
Oh, that's
at a
crazy.
music gig that I was playing at, and I went up to him and I said, "Are you Doctor Who?" And he's like, "Oh, everyone calls me that." And we chatted for ages, and suddenly I realized, as you were saying, they're not always gonna like. What would I do right now if one of my guides knocked on my door? Like, what would it do to me in my life? Like, would I run in fear? Would I never leave this room? Would I open, like you were saying earlier on, like open the door, throw out my heart, say hello, and give a bit.
Oh,
Like, how would
yes.
I react? And that seems so much at the core of answering the question about, what are you going to experience? You're going to experience what you're ready to without it causing some massive destructive
Hmm.
uh you know event in your life, because we hear a lot about that in you know various UFO and alien contactees and experiences.
Hmm.
And it's not to say it never happens, but it absolutely feels aligned with my journey. I've only ever been ready. Sometimes it's a bit of a step forwards, right? It's like, here's a ship in your sky, and you're like, oh, it's like so close, and that's a life
Yeah.
event for me. Thank you. Um, and then other times you're sat there staring, watching things moving around in the sky and thinking, thank you, more, please, more.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Ever since I can remember, I was never, even when I saw the huge craft outside of my window when I was young,
Mm,
um, they just gave me so much love and peace that I was never afraid after that. Like,
yeah,
um, even when, there was no fear, except for when they took my consciousness to the ship in the early beginnings of my sightings and interactions with extraterrestrials. Um, when they took my consciousness to the ship and I was in this ship and I'm freaking out, and but that cooled down, that
yeah,
got better as I kept going up there.
yeah.
um and now I'm just like, oh, I'll stand in the room with, one, they're anyway, they're all around us anyway,
That's
whether
right,
we
they
can
are.
see them or not, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I love
If
that.
you were connected with them, they're right here,
Yeah.
right here watching this podcast. They're here. Yep. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Welcome. Please like and subscribe and share with all your
Yes.
fantastic
Yes,
friends.
please.
um, so wonderful, Sarah. Um, I just want to thank you. As we're coming up on time, but I just want to
Yeah.
thank you for your continued bravery. Like, it is inspirational to see, because
Oh,
I
thank you.
what I see in you is a human that totally gets how scary some of these experiences could be for others, and,
Yes.
and to help bring the human experiences to these extra human events and encounters is just very heartwarming and heart opening. So thank you for your bravery
Oh,
and
thank
service to
you. Thank
humanity.
you. In my plan, well, thank you so much. And I want to plug this contest that I'm in, if you don't
Of
mind,
course, yeah.
because it is for the greater good and I'm using it for the greater good. So if you don't follow me, please follow me on Instagram, UFO Girly, UFO.girly,
Mhm.
TikTok, UFO Girly, YouTube, UFO Girly. And then I am new to Facebook. So that is Sarah UFO, and it's the same profile picture as my other accounts,
Mhm.
because I did hear that there's a few Sarah UFOs coincidentally. Crazy.
That's odd, yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I'm in this contest, and the link is provided in my Facebook, so I will be sharing it more and more. But it'll give me the opportunities to speak my truth on a bigger platform.
Yeah.
So I'm not, we all love money and all that stuff. I love the fact that they're providing that, $25,000 to the winner and blah blah. But my main goal is to get this information out there, because a lot of my tattoos are, I should explain what the contest is.
Yeah.
It's called Inked Originals,
Mhm.
and it is also a foundation. They're providing money for, it's called B Plus Foundation,
Mhm.
to educate families with cancer. So
Okay.
with patient or children,
Mhm.
childhood cancer. So it goes to a great cause too. Um, and you'll get a 2-page like spread and inked magazine with your story.
Mhm.
And a lot of my tattoos are from, um what should I say, are inspired
Yeah.
by my ET family, by my experiences. The owl I just got, this I have a spaceship, an ET head. I have like this butterfly even is this for transformation. I'm just trying to get this information out any way I can. So please go vote for me and vote
Yeah.
every day. Vote every day.
I think I've done it at
So
least 3 times. But yeah, please do vote
yes,
for
thank you
Sarah.
so much.
And what
Any
about my
vote
call?
counts. Yes, and you
Mhm.
can donate too. You can donate votes. I have people that are donating, and that's truly, truly magical and amazing. So thank you to everyone who's donating. I see you. I see you. I see you.
Oh, wonderful. I will dig out the link and I'll add it to the video below.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank
um,
you.
well, thank you so much, Sarah. I just feel excited to come back again and we can connect again. I'm sure there'll be lots to talk about, and we can dive deeper into Egypt, and maybe they'll
Oh
help
yeah.
rediscover some more stuff that feels like we
Yeah, and
already knew about.
right. And before then, I will download some information about it and we'll see what we can get.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, likewise. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, I'll include all your links
Thank you
in
so
the
much.
description, and in particular the voting one in the comment as well. So ask everyone to keep an eye out for that. And we'll look forward to catching up. We'll schedule another one. Hopefully we'll get together next week,
Yes.
at least, and share more of our journeys. Thank you so much, Sarah.
All right. Thank you for watching, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you, everyone.
you.
Thank you. See everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.